Hello, MavMind Collective, and welcome to another episode of the Hypnosales Show. Today, we're talking about the number one interviewing mistake that you're making right now. All right, if you follow my channel, chances are you're in a customer-facing role, and you probably have had to hire or been part of an interviewing process to hire another customer-facing role onto your team. So whether you're the manager of the team hiring them or whether you're being asked by your manager to hire someone in a customer-facing role, this is a lesson for you today to understand the biggest mistake you're probably making. You may not be, but most people I coach on this particular topic, they're making the mistake. And I was making the mistake also for the longest time until I figured out that it was a mistake and I started changing how I interviewed, and it made a difference. And I've even made some previous videos here on this channel about interviewing sales roles, someone in a sale, like sales reps. And I have 6 parts to that, and I break down all my different questions. So you can go watch those to get an idea of the different questions. But this is about the biggest mistake you're making. And this is based on the process of interviewing someone in general. Okay, so if you're interviewing someone by receiving a resume or a CV first, and you get to look at their skills and experience, and then you get them on the phone or a Zoom and you interview them, you're probably making this mistake naturally without even knowing it. And that is, you're evaluating them on only what they tell you during the interview. So I don't know if you know this, but back in 1905, the whole process of interviewing someone based on them providing you a sheet of paper with their skills and experience, which is called a resume or a CV. That idea of providing a CV or a resume to an interviewer was invented in 1905. It's over 100 years old. So this way of interviewing is like, it's really old, okay? Before that, they didn't provide a sheet of paper or a resume with anything on it. It was just word of mouth. If you knew the person that referred somebody in, you might hire them based on the referral only, or you might have a chance to talk to them, but it would just be to kind of see if you get along with them and if they can take orders. And you might even make them an intern or an apprentice first, see how they do, and then you would give them the job and start paying them once they, maybe after 6 months of doing the job to see if they could do it. That's how they did it before. And in 1905, they introduced this resume idea, and then to this day, most people, that's what we expect. The problem with it, the mistake that you're making, is you're only evaluating what they tell you. Okay, so really the only thing at a subconscious level, if you think about it, like if I put on my MavMind hat right now and I think about subconsciously what's really happening in the exchange when I'm interviewing someone, either on the phone or in a Zoom or in person, is they're only demonstrating certain specific skills to me. That's all they're doing. And those skills are like, can they tell a story? Can they recall something from the past? They're like, I'm testing them on their memory to tell me about something that they wrote on their resume. And can they frame it and convince me that it's a positive thing, that they have positive abilities based on the story that they're telling me? So really, I'm only evaluating on what they tell me, how they recall, how they articulate things, and how they frame and persuade me. I'm getting those particular skills and feeling comfortable with those skills, but that's it. I'm not really, in most cases, they're not demonstrating, and I'm not getting anything on how they're actually going to be in front of customers or how they're actually going to be in the role that they have, okay? So because the role that you're hiring for typically has a lot of different aspects to it. It's not just about telling the story and persuading people and recalling and being articulate. It's also, can you organize things? Can you handle a question from a customer that's unexpected without getting upset? How do you handle that? So that's the other part of this mistake, is sometimes you're not asking them to demonstrate anything that they would actually have to do in front of a customer or in their role. You're not getting that part. And you find out only after you hire them that maybe they don't have the skill and experience to actually do it. So maybe they have some experience, but they may not have the skill developed fully to do the job. So you really want to take advantage of the fact that if you have them in an interview situation and you can have them in front of you, especially on a Zoom or even on the phone, to get them to demonstrate to you how they are in front of actual customers, how they are in the actual role. Give them an actual scenario to deal with. Maybe role play with them. Figure out a way to role play with you where you say, I'm the customer and I want you to cold call me right now. You have 30 seconds to keep me on the phone. Go. Something like that. Or if maybe you want to see how they handle an unexpected situation, give them a very unexpected question that might maybe tilt them a certain way, tilt them off, take them off guard. For example, you might say, what's 1,111 divided by 2 multiplied by 18 and take the square root of that? What is that? Give me that answer right now. Go. Quick, quick. Something like that to where they're like, what are you talking? How do they handle that when you hit them with an unexpected, urgent thing, just like a customer would do, right? See how because chances are subconsciously they won't help themselves but to react the way they would actually react in front of customers. So you can get a sense of their demeanor and what their actual skills are in those unexpected situations. Another thing you can do is to give them a scenario, put them in a scenario you expect them to be in, and then ask them how they handle that situation. Make something incorrect about the situation. Take something away, say they're not allowed to call anyone, take some kind of an ability away from them in that situation to where they don't have an automatic go-to, an automatic answer, and they have to think through, how would I handle that situation if I didn't have my cell phone with me, for example. You have the situation where you have to contact the customer, pretend I'm the customer, how do you get a hold of me without your cell phone? What are you going to do? And then ask them to go through that scenario and figure out if they actually have the strategy and the skill to handle it, okay? So you want to give them an opportunity to demonstrate for you that they actually have the ability to do the job. And you want to make sure that you don't hire them based on how well they tell a story or how well they persuade you. Really dig in and figure out if they really do have the skill. So think up some questions that put them on the spot, that allow them to demonstrate it for you right there in the interview, so you have no doubt that when you put them in front of customers or in their actual role, that they will be just fine and they'll be able to have all the skills they need to do the job successfully, because you need to make sure they're successful if they're going to be on your team. Okay, so again, these are the two parts of this mistake that you're making. You're only listening to what they're telling you instead of having them demonstrate actual skills. So think of how you can get them to demonstrate actual skills and see if that doesn't help you hire better, more effective people onto your team now.
Thank you for watching. I know you find value in these videos, didn't you? Now, if you, like me, are in a customer-facing role, you want to get better every day at what you do, but you don't have to watch another video if you don't want to.